in the light flyweight division. Introducing to you firstly, fighting out of the blue corner, coming to you by way of Thai style, Liverpool, Becky Caslin.
My name is Becky Caslin, I'm 22, and I fight out of Fort Studio Muay Thai in Liverpool. I started down when I was 9, and at a junior level I won pretty much everything. I only ever got beat twice as a junior, so I knew from then on, had I ever turned pro, I knew it was possible. If I fight and train I could be good, so I'm 13-1 now, so I'm not doing too bad. After me weigh-in, I know that everything's done, do you know what I mean? I don't think like, oh, I've done this, I've done that, because I know it's done. I always train hard, so that's the weigh-in and the fight, it's the easy part for me.
This psychopath girl, Becky Caslin, swore she would destroy Dakota Ditcheva. The trash talk was relentless, the threats were real, but what Dakota did to her on fight night was absolutely mind-blowing. Now years later, Becky is calling herself the biggest threat to Dakota's reign, and Dakota just fired back on Twitter with a message that's sending shockwaves through the combat sports world. Let's rewind to 2015, Birmingham, England, the Muay Thai Grand Prix event. Two 17-year-old fighters, both hungry, both talented, but only one would leave with their reputation intact. Dakota Ditcheva stepped into that ring as a rising prospect with serious potential. Becky Caslin came in as the aggressor, the pressure fighter, someone who promised violence and backed it up with non-stop forward movement. From the opening bell, Dakota showed why she was different. While Becky rushed forward with wild hooks and aggressive combinations, Dakota remained calm, calculated, surgical. She used her height advantage perfectly, keeping Becky at range with stiff teeps to the midsection and razor-sharp jabs that stopped every forward rush.
They're both, at such a young age, both 17, I believe. Both listen to their corners like, seasoned professionals. You just hear the corners and they're literally like, that back leg push kick's unbelievable.
I'm sorry, we've got some venom behind that right hand.
Ditcheva. Oh, that's
jumping knee. That's really hurt Caslin. She backs up onto the ropes, throws the knee in again, and then a third. The referee.
Becky tried to brawl. She threw low kicks, charged with hooks, turned up the pressure, but Dakota's footwork made her miss by inches every single time. Then came the statement shot, a left body kick that echoed through the venue and made Becky wince in pain. Round 1 to Dakota, no question. Round 2 is where Becky tried to change the fight. She came out desperate, trying to drag Dakota into the clinch and turn this into a war. For a moment she succeeded, pressing Dakota against the ropes and attacking the body with knees. But this is where Dakota's fight IQ separated her from the competition. Instead of panicking, she countered with slicing elbows inside the clinch, forcing Becky to respect the close-range exchanges. Then Dakota unleashed the shot that shifted everything, a brutal mid-kick that folded Becky like a lawn chair.
Robotic as such, then no doubt that's going to be a champion. It's so important. Even if you're under pressure, for example, or, just for those final little points, you need them.
Well, Ditcheva's started more aggressively than she did in the first round, already just pushing Caslin back with front kicks to the body.
And what Caslin's doing is she's scoring well to the body. She's scoring points to the body, even though she's on the back foot. She's defending well and scoring a lot to the body. So, she's excellent, superbly strong and great with her legs.
The arena erupted. Dakota had taken full control, and everyone knew it. The final round began with Becky throwing everything she had left. She was swinging for the fences, hoping for a miracle shot, but Dakota remained ice cold. Perfect timing, clean counters, steady pressure. Then came the finish sequence that people still talk about today. Dakota landed a devastating knee that hurt Becky badly. She backed up onto the ropes, and Dakota followed with a second knee, then a third. The referee stepped in for a standing 8 count.
A huge difference, and it really, I imagine it takes some adapting to.
Yeah, it does. It's literally overnight sometimes with some of these boys and girls coming through. And it's not just physical, it's mental as well.
Right. Well, again, Dakota, the aggressor, but Caslin just scoring shots on the back foot. Short kicks to the to the thighs, then one to the midsection again, and Ditcheva just reddening, increasing on the ribs.
Well, Caslin's doing it, she's on the back.
Becky absorbed shot after shot but refused to quit. You have to respect her toughness. But toughness wasn't enough that night. When the final bell rang, there was zero doubt. Dakota Ditcheva won clearly, almost certainly unanimously. It wasn't just a win on the scorecards, it was a statement. A 17-year-old girl had just dismantled an aggressive, dangerous opponent with world-class composure and technical precision.
Scoring cleanly to the, if you just see there, making Dakota miss.
That was a solid right cross,
this
though.
This is where Dakota wants you, see, look, this is where she'll go. She's fireworks, I tell you, that was a great knee.
She's looking dominant in the clinch there. Tried to throw, didn't get there, but she's now just doubling up with that left and right cross.
If you move, what I said earlier was, I think a lot of this fight, if it goes into the clinch, you might just see the difference between the two. Because on the outskirts, they're both very, very level. Dakota's a little bit more explosive, but Caslin's a good score.
This fight proved Dakota wasn't just a talented prospect. She was a future star in the making. Now here's where things get interesting. Years have passed since that fight in Birmingham. Dakota Ditcheva has evolved into one of the most feared rising stars in combat sports. She's racking up dominant wins, building a highlight reel that makes opponents think twice, and positioning herself for championship opportunities. But Becky Caslin hasn't forgotten. She's been training, evolving and sharpening her skills. And recently she made a bold declaration that caught everyone's attention. Becky Caslin is now calling herself the biggest threat to Dakota Ditcheva. Not just a threat, the biggest threat. She's claiming that their first fight was just the beginning, that she's a completely different fighter now, and that Dakota knows deep down that a rematch would be dangerous.
Got some venom behind that right hand. Ditcheva.
Oh, that's
jumping knee. That's really hurt Caslin. She backs up onto the ropes, throws the knee in again, and then a third. The referee's having a look. We're going to have a standing 8 count.
The combat sports community exploded with reactions. Some dismissed it as delusional trash talk. Others acknowledged that Becky has improved significantly and could pose real problems in a rematch. But everyone wanted to know one thing. What would Dakota say? Dakota Ditcheva doesn't waste time with lengthy responses. She doesn't need to. Her Twitter message was short, sharp, and absolutely loaded with meaning.
The planet right now. Fantastic strikers, veterans. Future legends of the game here.
For sure.
Santos is in
She's in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for a championship.
The message was clear. Dakota remembers exactly what happened in Birmingham. She remembers breaking Becky down round by round. She remembers landing that knee that forced the standing 8 count. And she's letting Becky know and letting the entire world know that if they run it back, the result will be the same, only worse. This isn't just social media drama. This is a real rivalry with real history. Becky isn't some random fighter talking trash for attention. She actually fought Dakota, went the distance and showed toughness even in defeat. That gives her credibility.
Yeah, they're looking out of her element here. She's hurt to the body. That's it. The end of the fight.
Ooh, a big shot and a right hand.
Another one.
Big one.
Dakota Ditcheva right now.
Oh!
Yeah, and a power.
Oh!
Right.
Wow!
Ditcheva asked her to stand back up. Falls on the body. More body shots. This one These are brutal. Oh, nasty combination. And the body work, and that'll do it. Dakota Ditcheva.
Vincent, she's going to have now getting up is going to be unbelievable.
And there it is.
Beautiful knee from the plum.
And Ditcheva beckons Jenna Bishop back to her feet and goes immediately on the attack. Oh, right hand.
In trouble.
And that does it. First round finish.
One of those big improvements was making that move to 125.
This UFC champion, Alexa Grasso, is one of the most feared women in combat sports today. The former flyweight champion has built her reputation on precision striking, championship experience, and an unshakable composure that has carried her through wars with the world's best fighters.
Yeah, no, that was Alexa Grasso's.
Oh, hard right hand by Grasso. Esquivel backpedaling for the first time. Grasso bunching up some punches. It's all over her left hand. Grasso moving.
But now, Alexa Grasso has sent a massive bombshell message to rising star Dakota Ditcheva, and Dakota has fired back with a response that has the MMA world buzzing. Is a super fight between these two elite strikers on the horizon? Let's break down what was said and what it means for women's MMA. In a recent interview, Alexa Grasso addressed Dakota Ditcheva directly, and her words carried a mix of respect and subtle challenge. Here's exactly what the UFC champion said. Well, I think she has one of the best buddies in MMA, and I really wanted to have one like that. I'm still working on that, but it's amazing, you know, because she's a veteran and I saw her fights. When I didn't fight in a big time, I was like, wow, those girls are amazing. And now to fight, I'm fighting with her. It's a pleasure and it's really a blessing for me.
Well, I think she has one of the best bodies in the MMA, and I really wanted to have one like that. I'm still working on that, but it's amazing, you know, because she's a veteran, and I saw her fights, and I was when I didn't fight in a big time, I was like, whoa, those girls are amazing, and now I'm fighting with her. It's a pleasure, and it's really a blessing for me.
Now, at first glance, this might seem like pure respect from Grasso, and to some degree it is. But if you read between the lines, there's something else happening here. Grasso is acknowledging Dakota's talent while simultaneously positioning herself as the seasoned veteran, the one with championship experience, the one who has already conquered the biggest stage in MMA. It's a subtle psychological play. Grasso is saying, I respect you, but I've been where you're trying to go, and I know what it takes. That's the mindset of a champion who has fought killers like Valentina Shevchenko, and it's a reminder that Dakota, despite her dominance, hasn't faced that level of competition yet. Dakota Ditcheva didn't back down. In fact, her response showed exactly why she's considered one of the most dangerous rising stars in women's MMA. Here's what she said. People see that when I win this season now. And you know, say I beat someone like Liz Carmouche and Talia Santos. As soon as I've beat them, I think what else can people expect other than greatness for the rest of the year? And you've got to be like that, you know. And it's about time that I actually believe in what I can do.
When I win this season now, and you know, say I beat someone like Liz Carmouche and Talia Santos, as soon as I've beat them, I think what else can people expect other than greatness for the rest of the year? Yeah, right. Yeah, and you've got to be like that, you know. And it's about time that I actually believe in what.
She continued. People say to me, "Oh, she's not fought this person. She's not fought that person." Well, or they say to me, "She's running through all these girls because they're not very good." But if you put these girls against other people, they have close fights, whereas when you put them with me, I finish them early. So I make it look easy sometimes.
People say to me, you know, oh, she's not fought this person, she's not fought that person. Well, or they say to me, you know, she's running through all these girls because they're not very good. But if you put these girls against other people, they have close fights. Whereas when you put them with me, I finish them early, so I make it look easy sometimes.
This is confidence at its peak. Dakota isn't just defending her record. She's making a case that her dominance isn't about facing weak competition. It's about her skill level being so far ahead that she makes elite fighters look ordinary. That's a bold claim, but when you look at her finishing rate and the way she's demolished opponents, it's hard to argue. Dakota is essentially saying, I don't just beat these fighters, I finish them in ways others can't. And that's the calling card of a future champion. But Dakota wasn't done. She took to Twitter to send another message, and this one had the MMA community fired up. While the exact tweet wasn't disclosed in detail, the implication was clear. Dakota Ditcheva is ready for anyone, including Alexa Grasso.
The planet right now, fantastic strikers, veterans, future legends of the game here.
For sure. Santos is in big trouble. She's in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for a championship.
This is the new generation making their presence known. Dakota has the Muay Thai pedigree, the finishing ability, and the hunger of someone who knows they're destined for greatness. She's not waiting for permission to call out champions. She's stating her case and daring the best to step up. And here's the thing, Dakota has earned the right to talk like this. She's undefeated in her professional MMA career. She's finished nearly every opponent she's faced, and she's doing it with a style that's both beautiful and brutal. Her striking is elite, her clinch work is devastating, and her confidence is sky high.
You know, the damage so far in this fight, it's been one-way trap.
Oh, nasty notice the middle from Dakota. And a flurry down to the body. Here's the elbow. Back elbow. And now a left hand. And she's showing off now.
So what happens if these two actually fight? Let's break down the stylistic matchup. Dakota Ditcheva brings youth, speed, and explosive finishing power. She's long for her division, incredibly rangy, and uses her reach better than almost anyone. Her Muay Thai background makes her deadly in the clinch, and her ability to land elbows, knees, and kicks from unusual angles gives her an unpredictability that's hard to prepare for. Dakota overwhelms opponents with pressure and volume, and she rarely lets fights go the distance. Alexa Grasso, on the other hand, brings championship experience and technical perfection. Her boxing is textbook, her footwork is clean, and she has the kind of composure that only comes from fighting the absolute best in the world. Grasso doesn't rely on power. She breaks opponents down piece by piece with combinations, timing, and smart defense. And as she showed against Valentina Shevchenko, she can adapt mid-fight and find ways to win even when things aren't going her way. The key question is this: can Dakota's speed and aggression overwhelm Alexa before Grasso's experience and composure take over? If this fight happens early in Dakota's UFC career, Alexa might have the edge. But if Dakota gets a few more years of elite-level experience, this becomes a true toss-up.
Have you seen that really pretty girl that fights in the PFL? What's her name? Dakota Ditcheva. She's from England, but she is like, most of her fights win by knockout. She's this Muay Thai specialist, but she's pretty. And
sounds
she just
awesome.
Fucks these girls up.
That's it.
Fucks these girls up.
Joe Rogan, the legendary UFC commentator and combat sports expert, was left absolutely stunned after watching Dakota Ditcheva's brutal knockouts. We're talking about a fighter with a perfect record who's dismantling opponents left and right, and Rogan couldn't contain his amazement. But here's where it gets really interesting. Rogan emphasized that Ditcheva represents something bigger than just fighting. He said, and I quote, "She's gorgeous. She looks like a model. It has nothing to do with men beating each other up. It has nothing to do with brutishness. It has to do with high-level problem solving with dire physical consequences."
Against defense with body shots.
Combination again, punching her way out of these clinches.
Naba not able to match speed on the outside.
Crashing in again. Oh, beautiful knee. Out of the clinch is really working for Ditcheva. She gets the turn, another knee finds its way to the face of Sumiko Naba, and an elbow from Dakota.
Naba can't take a lot of those knees.
Joe Rogan's shocking reaction to Dakota Ditcheva's savage performances inside the cage. This British knockout machine has been putting people to sleep with devastating strikes, and when Rogan saw her work, he was blown away. We're talking about a perfect 15-0 record with 12 brutal knockouts that have the entire MMA world buzzing. So hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's dive into why Joe Rogan is so hyped about this unstoppable force named Dakota Ditcheva.
We live in a day and age where, women want to be equal. And believe me when I tell you, women have proved that they are equal. People love the women's fights, and they're so tactical and they're so good. It's just, I didn't see it coming. These women are unbelievable. They're very technical and very good.
And from the numbers that the audience responds?
No, the audience doesn't respond. The audience loves it. These women become big stars.
Joe Rogan has seen it all in combat sports. From the rise of Ronda Rousey to the dominance of Amanda Nunes, he's witnessed every era of women's MMA. But his recent comments about Dakota Ditcheva? They hit differently. On his platform, Rogan didn't just praise Ditcheva, he called her terrifying. And coming from someone who's watched thousands of fights, that word carries weight. He specifically highlighted her mindset, calling her a great example of what high-level MMA should look like.
The PFL is going to get people to pay attention. If the UFC went away, the PFL would probably take up the slack. I'm a fan of the best fighters in the world getting together. And whatever we have to do to facilitate that, that's what I want to see happen. There's one who's really interesting. She's terrifying. Her mindset, she's a great example. She's a gorgeous woman. She looks like a model. It has nothing to do with men beating each other up. It has nothing to do with brutishness. It has to do with high-level problem solving with dire physical consequences.
That's not just praise. That's Rogan acknowledging that Ditcheva is changing the narrative around women's MMA entirely. She's proving that you can be feminine, beautiful, and one of the most dangerous fighters on the planet.
The planet right now, fantastic strikers, veterans, future legends of the game here.
For sure. Santos is in big trouble. She's in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for a championship.
So who exactly is this fighter that has Joe Rogan so impressed? Let me break it down for you. Dakota Ditcheva was born on July 25th, 1998, in Sale, Greater Manchester, England. But combat sports isn't just something she chose. It's in her blood. Her mother, Lisa Howarth, is a multiple-time world kickboxing champion. Her father, Ivo Ditchev, is Bulgarian. Dakota grew up literally surrounded by martial arts, training in kickboxing, Muay Thai, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from a young age. Before she ever stepped into an MMA cage, Dakota was already a champion. In 2016, at just 17 years old, she won gold at the IFMA World Muay Thai Championships in Sweden. She's a three-time world champion in the junior divisions and was named Daily Mirror and Sport England Pride of Sports Young Sportsperson of the Year. But here's what makes her special. She's proud of both her English and Bulgarian heritage. She regularly flies a double English-Bulgarian flag and travels to Bulgaria several times a year to visit relatives. Oh, and she's a die-hard Manchester City fan who celebrates her wins by copying famous City goal celebrations. That's my personality right there. In April 2021, Dakota made her MMA debut and immediately showed the world what she was capable of, a first-round stoppage. And that was just the beginning. Let's talk numbers because Dakota's record is absolutely insane. She currently sits at a perfect 14 wins and 0 losses. But here's the scary part. 12 of those wins came by knockout. That's an 80% finish rate. In July 2022, she signed with the Professional Fighters League, and that's where her legend really began to grow. In her PFL debut, she TKO'd Hassana Gaber in the first round. Then she knocked out Catherine Corrigines in the first round. It became a pattern. Dakota doesn't just win, she destroys. But the real statement came in the 2024 PFL Women's Flyweight Tournament. Dakota didn't just win the tournament, she demolished everyone in her path. In the semifinals against Gina Bishop, first round TKO, but the final was where history was made. On November 29th, 2024, Dakota faced Taila Santos, a former UFC title challenger and one of the most experienced fighters in the division. Santos had never finished in her entire career. Dakota changed that. In the second round, she became the first person ever to finish Santos with devastating body punches. With that victory, Dakota won $1 million, became the youngest champion in PFL history, and earned the distinction of being the first British female MMA world champion. Let that sink in. She's making history at just 26 years old, and even after winning it all, she hasn't slowed down. In July 2025, she defeated Sumiko Inaba by unanimous decision, showing she can win in different ways. She's scheduled to face Denise Kielholtz in February 2026 at PFL Road to Dubai. As Rogan pointed out in discussions about fighting, the biggest mistake fighters make is fighting with emotion. When you get hit and react emotionally, you expose yourself. You leave openings. Your rhythm gets disrupted. Dakota doesn't do that. Her background in Muay Thai gives her devastating striking, especially those body punches that have become her signature. But she's also submitted opponents with rear naked chokes, showing she's well-rounded. She fights with what Rogan calls high-level problem-solving. She doesn't just throw strikes, she executes a game plan with surgical precision.
Plum and a right hand. Oh, another one! Big one! Dakota Ditcheva, right hand and a hand of face! Another knockout for Dakota Ditcheva!
And here's what's really interesting. Fighters aren't calling her out anymore. In her own words after winning the tournament, "Nobody actually calls me out these days, especially not after I won the tournament last year. Everyone's gone quiet. That's not trash talk. That's just facts. When you're that dominant, people avoid you." Now here's where things get controversial. The biggest question in women's MMA right now is, when will Dakota Ditcheva fight in the UFC? Social media has been buzzing with fans saying, Dakota Ditcheva is the biggest star in women's MMA right now. Everyone wants to see her in the UFC. But in 2025, she re-signed with the PFL, securing her future with the promotion.
Fighting out of the red corner, she's a Muay Thai specialist and stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. She went in officially at 125 1/4 pounds, and she holds a perfect, undefeated record of 10 victories and no defeats. She is the 2023 PFL Europe Women's Flyweight Champion. Fighting out of Manchester, England, dangerous Dakota Ditcheva!
In the world of combat sports, few moments hit harder than watching a fighter's dreams crumble before they even step into the cage. Dakota Ditcheva, the undefeated PFL flyweight champion and one of the promotion's brightest stars, has been forced to withdraw from her highly anticipated return at PFL Dubai on February 7, 2026. The 27-year-old British sensation was scheduled to face Denise Kielholtz in what promised to be an explosive matchup, but an undisclosed injury has shattered those plans, leaving fans devastated and Ditcheva herself in tears. This is more than just a cancelled fight. This is a crushing blow to a warrior who has battled through adversity all year long. Stay with us as we break down this developing story, hear Dakota's emotional statement, and explore what this means for the future of the PFL's flyweight division. The Professional Fighters League dropped the bombshell on Tuesday, December 23rd, announcing that Dakota Ditcheva would not be competing at their first event of 2026. The news came without warning, without details, and without a timeline for her return. All we know is that an injury has once again sidelined one of MMA's most exciting fighters. For fans who have been waiting months to see dangerous Dakota back in action, this announcement hit like a knockout punch. Social media erupted with messages of support, shock, and disappointment. Dakota Ditcheva was supposed to kick off 2026 with a bang, facing the experienced Denise Kielholtz in Dubai. Instead, she's forced to watch from the sidelines once more. And here's what makes this even more painful. There has been no replacement announced for Kielholtz. The Dutch fighter, who hasn't competed since 2023, was finally set to make her return. Now her future on the card remains uncertain. Will the PFL find her a new opponent? Will the fight be rescheduled? These questions remain unanswered, adding to the frustration surrounding this situation. On Wednesday, Dakota Ditcheva broke her silence, and what she shared with her fans was nothing short of heartbreaking. Taking to Instagram, the usually composed champion revealed the emotional toll this withdrawal has taken on her. I am blessed. It wasn't meant to be, Dakota wrote, a mantra she's been repeating to herself as she processes this devastating setback. But those words couldn't hide the pain behind them. I'm truly heartbroken. I won't be fighting in PFL Dubai anymore, she continued. I cried 2 days straight when I injured myself. Then I cried again yesterday when it officially got announced. Let that sink in for a moment. 2 days of tears when the injury happened. More tears when the world found out. This